Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Breaking News on NDTV. I am Ankit Tyagi. Day 2 of the discussion on the no confidence motion in the parliament was high, extremely high on emotions and political drama. That's going to be our top focus on the broadcast. We are going to, in fact, speak about specifically what happened in the debate. Day 2 of the debate and discussion on the no confidence motion brought in by the opposition against the Modi government. And the suspense today, at least on Rahul Gandhi, when will Rahul Gandhi speak, ended with the Congress MP taking the centre stage. Launching a scathing attack in his maiden speech after being reinstated as the Member of Parliament, Rahul Gandhi alleged that the BJP has murdered Bharat Mata in Manipur and accused the government of deliberately not deploying the army, calling the BJP government anti-national. The Congress leader came down heavily on the Prime Minister for not visiting violence-hit Manipur. Meanwhile, the BJP deployed Union Minister Smriti Irani for the counter-attack. Ms. Irani, remember, was the one who defeated Rahul Gandhi from the Amethi constituency in 2019, went on a full frontal attack on Rahul Gandhi for his murder of Bharat Mata phrase. Let's listen in as both these leaders today thundered in the parliament.
स्पीकर सर, इन्होंने मणिपुर में हिंदुस्तान की है, सिर्फ मणिपुर की नहीं, हमारी जनता की आवाज है, दिल की आवाज है। उस आवाज की हत्या आपने मणिपुर में की। इसका मतलब भारत माता की हत्या आपने मणिपुर में की। आपने मेरी मां की मणिपुर में, एक मेरी मां यहां बैठी है, दूसरी मां को आपने मणिपुर में। और हर रोज जब तक आप हिंसा को बंद नहीं करोगे, तब तक आप मेरी मां कर रहे हो। हिंदुस्तान की सेना मणिपुर में एक दिन में शांति ला सकती है। हिंदुस्तान की सेना का प्रयोग नहीं कर रहे हो, क्योंकि आप हिंदुस्तान को मणिपुर में चाहते हो।
आपकी पीठ पर, आपके आसन पर जिस प्रकार का आक्रामक बर्ताव आज देखा गया, उसका मैं खंडन करती हूं। पहली बार राष्ट्र के इतिहास में भारत मां की हत्या की बात की और कांग्रेस पार्टी यहां पर तालियां बजाती रही। जो भारत की हत्या की बात पर कांग्रेस पार्टी ने ताली पीटी आज इस सदन में, इस बात का संकेत पूरे देश को दिया कि मन में गद्दारी किसकी है।
Rahul Gandhi's 30-minute speech saw continuous disruptions from the Treasury benches, and it created its fair share of controversies as well. From the Congress party alleging that the Sansad TV not showing Rahul Gandhi through and through his speech, to women MPs of the BJP accusing the Congress MP of an indecent gesture. Yes, a huge storm, ladies and gentlemen, over an alleged flying kiss that Rahul Gandhi blew towards the Treasury benches as he walked after his speech. While the Congress clarified that it was a gesture towards the BJP MPs who were raising slogans at that time and was not directed at any particular MP, certainly not against Ms. Smriti Irani, she lashed out at Rahul Gandhi, calling him misogynistic.
It is only a misogynistic man who can give a flying kiss to a parliament with seats female members of parliament. ऐसी गरिमा विहीन आचरण को इस देश के सदन में कभी नहीं देखा गया।
मुझे ये समझ में नहीं आता है कि जब वो बोल रहे थे सारे मंत्रीगण खड़े हुए थे, मंत्री सब बीच में दखल अंदाजी दे रहे थे, आपसे उन्होंने एक प्यार भरा जेस्चर दिया है, उससे आपको दिक्कत क्या है? इतनी नफरत की आदत बन गई है कि मोहब्बत का कोई भी जेस्चर, प्यार का कोई भी जेस्चर, अफेक्शन का कोई भी जेस्चर आपको समझ में नहीं आता है।
Meanwhile, something interesting also happened while all this was going on. Soon after the BJP MPs, women MPs, lodged a formal complaint with the Lok Sabha Speaker with their signatures in that complaint. Interestingly, BJP MP Hema Malini, who is a signatory, and you can see this on the screens right now, we have highlighted that portion. She's a signatory of this complaint. Her statement, ladies and gentlemen, has gone viral. And let me tell you why her statement has gone viral. She is one of the complainants against Rahul Gandhi, but when she came out of the parliament and reporters asked her, she was heard saying she didn't actually see Rahul Gandhi blowing a flying kiss. Just listen in.
Little commotion going on.
Did you see him blow that flying kiss towards, you found it inappropriate?
That I don't know, I did not see that, but there was some words were not very correct. There was little commotion going on.
Did you see him blow that flying kiss towards, you found it inappropriate?
That I don't know, I did not see that, but there was some words were not very correct.
Amazing, isn't it? But this is not the first time, ladies and gentlemen, that Rahul Gandhi's theatrics have created a controversy. In 2018, this hug to the Prime Minister and then subsequent wink created a storm in the Parliament. The latest addition to Rahul Gandhi's Parliament controversies now is the flying kiss that the BJP is talking about. But very, very interestingly, yesterday a note was circulated, even YouTube links were sent by the Congress party for Rahul Gandhi's speech. But right in the end, last minute, his name was struck off as the opening batsman for Team India. This was obviously mocked by the BJP, which laid its plan anticipating Rahul Gandhi's speech, getting MP Nishikant Dubey to begin for the Treasury benches. So today, ladies and gentlemen, after Rahul Gandhi, who has now made his speech on day 2, the big question is, was it a part of the Congress's strategy to get Rahul Gandhi not as the opening batsman on day 2? Was it a missed opportunity as far as the Congress party is concerned? And has it had, Rahul Gandhi's speech today, has it had the impact that the India alliance was hoping for? Who is leading the battle of optics? That is what we are discussing this evening. Let me very quickly introduce my panel for the evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm being joined on the broadcast at this moment by Vinod Sharma, senior journalist. He is also the political editor of Hindustan Times. We are being joined by Neerja Chaudhary, senior journalist, political analyst on the broadcast. Smita Prakash, editor of ANI and senior journalist, is also with us on the broadcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, joining us on Breaking Views. As always, lovely to have all of you here. I want to start by asking you, Neerja ji, Rahul Gandhi came today. A lot of anticipation was attached to his speech. Did Rahul Gandhi land the blow that possibly Team India was hoping for, or was it a missed opportunity according to you?
Look, Rahul Gandhi expectedly spoke on Manipur. That is the reason for the no confidence motion, to be able to discuss it and to compel the Prime Minister to speak on the subject, because he has been silent. And Rahul Gandhi's reinstatement as a member of Parliament, yes, if I'm honest, I was disappointed. I thought there'll be much more of marshalling of facts, arguments. It was on the expected lines.
So it was on the expected lines. Vinod Sharma, can I call this speech high on politics, less on substance? When Rahul Gandhi spoke, it was very high on emotions. He might have landed some political punches by, calling the government Desh Drohi, calling names as far as the Prime Minister is concerned. But was he able to hold the government accountable? That was the whole idea of this no confidence motion.
Well, his speech was rhetorical, it was upfront and it was emotive. and it was more in the nature of a public meeting speech and less in the nature, as I told you in an earlier program, in the nature of a parliamentary address. And I feel that, there's always a distinction between good public speakers and good parliamentarians. And there's nothing unusual about Rahul trying to focus more on the way he speaks in public than the way he addresses the parliament. Because he wasn't the lead speaker of the Congress. The lead speaker of the Congress was Mr. Gaurav Gogoi, who in my very humble opinion, acquitted himself very honorably as the lead speaker of the Congress party in defense of this motion. He spoke as a parliamentarian. He was poised. He was very careful about the way he chose his words, and he was logical with his arguments. Similarly, I think that Mr. Amit Shah, as of today, and much as I disagree with him fiercely on so many things and his style of functioning, that he acquitted himself also very well as a parliamentarian. Actually, he is the most formidable parliamentarian today on the treasury benches. I don't see anyone as prominent as him. Okay. So I think that for him to take the field before the Prime Minister was a good front-loading of the Home Minister before the Prime Minister took the floor. Right. Similarly, it was good front-loading of Gaurav Gogoi before Rahul Gandhi took the floor, though in a different manner.
In fact, I was reading it somewhere, Smita Prakash, that Mr. Home Minister might have created a record of sorts of the length of his speech, more than 2 hours. And we're just verifying that whether it went over Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru's former Prime Minister's speech in the Parliament. But Smita Prakash, your first impressions, because, yesterday when Rahul Gandhi did not speak as the opening speaker for the India Alliance, it was seen as a strategy to try and bring Rahul Gandhi closer to where the Prime Minister would speak so that he can keep the entire focus on Manipur, ask some tough questions. Did his speech today land that punch for you?
I don't know, Ankit, how far that strategy really worked, because had he spoken yesterday, it was kind of a dull day yesterday. With due respect to all the speakers yesterday, there really wasn't much of action in yesterday's speech. He would have dominated the airwaves yesterday. He would have dominated the airwaves even today, part of it being hogged by the Home Minister. But I really don't know why yesterday they didn't bring out all their artillery. Today was action-packed day, but strangely, Rahul Gandhi didn't speak much about his reinstatement, as Neerja pointed out. It's the first time that he's appeared in Parliament after the Supreme Court judgment. So one would think that maybe he could have used that part, that he was victimized or whatever. But he didn't talk about that. He began with a Dani punch, but then he didn't speak much about that. Then he said that, that BJP government has murdered India. मेरी माँ को मारा है, एक मेरी माँ यहाँ पे है, एक मेरी माँ भारत माता है जो मणिपुर में है. So very emotive and very distressing speech. But then I guess the issue itself was such that you cannot, either you go completely facts and figures on Manipur and keep the emotion part out of it. But I guess if you've been to Manipur and you've met with the victims or the survivors of that tragedy, then I guess emotions cannot be kept away. So that he brought that in, but it was lacking in facts and figures on Manipur and on the no confidence. A large chunk of it was on Bharat Jodo, which could have been avoided, frankly. I mean, that has got nothing to do with the no confidence motion or with the Manipur issue. So that part, I think, he could have used in just bringing up more facts and figures on Manipur.
And I think because he has spoken so much, he has spoken extensively about his Bharat Jodo experience, bringing that in the Parliament as well, sounded a little repetitive as well. But Neerja Chaudhary, I just want to bring you in. I was going through a lot of comments on the kind of debate. It's not that the speakers who followed Rahul Gandhi up to the Home Minister. Home Minister did speak, gave a lot of, spoke about the performance of the government as well. But speakers from Rahul Gandhi and then those who followed, including Smriti Irani, both sides seem to be using the floor of the Parliament to make rally-like speeches. It was like leaders on campaign trail rather than MPs indulging in substantive discussion.
No, I absolutely agree. Vinod is absolutely right. It wasn't a speech that one expected to be made in Parliament. Yes, it is an election rally speech. Even Smriti Irani, your visuals show that is only the hand movement, the body language. But, one expected Rahul to make a speech about the division that's come, the fault lines that have intensified in Manipur, the spilling out now in the Naga areas of Manipur, the spill out effect in Mizoram, entire Northeast, what does it mean for the rest of India, the pain of the people, all those things one expected Rahul to articulate because he was expected to speak on Manipur. And anyway, and Smriti Irani also made it a rhetorical thing. This thing of, flying kiss that he gave. Parliament debate is about flying kiss today. It's not about the substantive issues in Manipur.
That's right.
It's very painful to see this, that Rahul Gandhi, because he gave a flying kiss, and we teach our children all the time to give flying kisses to show their love and affection for whoever it is.
Right.
Now, to think that he's a woman hater and all the women parliamentarians are up in arms of the BJP. You brought down the debate to the good or the bad of the flying kiss. Now you may have an opinion, not on Manipur, which is burning, where you wanted to, you want the government to answer. You want to make people accountable for what has gone on. So the whole debate, to my mind, was very, very shallow today.
So probably, a missed opportunity, Vinod Sharma, for both the sides. But was this flying kiss controversy an attempt to, deliberately take the spotlight away from what Rahul Gandhi was saying and from Manipur? Reduce Rahul Gandhi's stature, also make him that caricature that the BJP usually tries and portrays in public?
Ankit, can I, with your permission, make this very dense discourse on the flying kiss a little lighter? I often say, I'm a great Devanand fan. I often say that had Devanand been in his prime today, he wouldn't have been able to picturize many of the songs which he did, which are forever green, forever so popular, I often go out of a party, and while there's a crowd there, you give them a flying kiss saying goodbye and going out. It should not, please, let us make things a little better in a parliament. This is a temple of democracy, and there are certain rights and certain gestures. You see, Rahul Gandhi has a different way of life, and he should not be misinterpreted and misjudged for that. He is not a fellow, he is not a guy who is a stalker or who has a history of harassing women. If he has gone out and if he has given and there is no, look, you see, the point is that this was stated in the middle of the address by Smriti, who also happens to be a friend of mine. I've known her since her days when she started out in television journalism.
Right.
You see, the point is that I'm 100% sure that in her personal life, she is very different from what she said today. And she is, by instinct, by study, as a studied demeanor, I don't want to comment on that. She's a member of a political party. She has to be in sync with the culture of that political party.
Okay.
But I think a flying kiss cannot drown out a serious issue like Manipur. Because Manipur was not about a flying kiss. It was about the real disrespect and humiliation of women in our country. So they are two different things. Let's not confuse them. One can't supersede the other at all.
Absolutely.
Manipur is almost, and let's discuss that. This can be settled later. And the Home Minister didn't mention this incident. The Speaker hasn't once mentioned this incident after Rahul left the House.
Right.
So, let them come to a conclusion and come to a decision. We'll discuss it later.
Smriti, if I may just ask you, but by directly attacking Smita, I beg your pardon. Smita, if I may ask, I beg your pardon. If I may ask you, by directly attacking the Prime Minister using the Ravan analogy, now, of course, there is anticipation of how the Prime Minister is going to respond. Is it Rahul Gandhi also, by drawing these comparisons, again setting the India alliance up for something that they have been trying desperately, a Prime Minister versus Rahul Gandhi direct contest, or at least the narrative around that?
Look, the Congress will try that. I think the Congress will also try that because justifiably so. In the India alliance, they have the largest numbers. So they are trying to send a message to their alliance partners also that willy-nilly it is Rahul Gandhi who's going to be the face against Modi. And I don't think Rahul Gandhi is shying away from the fact that he is the one. That is why, even though he has been told several times not to villainize Modi, because that doesn't work, because you saw what happened in the earlier elections, the Chaukidar Chor hai misfired and it didn't work, it didn't stick. In some ways, it was a Teflon Prime Minister who was asking for a second term. So even though there was the Rafale allegation and there was Chaukidar Chor hai, it didn't work. So there are many analysts who advised Rahul Gandhi not to villainize Modi, but that hasn't worked. And today, sure enough, calling him chaiwala, calling him neech, and all those words which were used by others in the Congress party, in spite of that, today it was Ravan. And you can be certain that the BJP will go to town with that, to say that you are calling our big man as Ravan, this is what you are. And there'll be a lot of video memes and there'll be the social media team. But at the same time, I just want to come back to this thing about, how when there is a big issue like Manipur,
yes,
trivializing it with a flying kiss. Let me just say this one thing, that who trivialized it? The people who trivialized it is us in the media or social media handles. As far as what Vinod just pointed out, that you didn't see that being brought out by the speaker or by Amit Shah, isn't it? And there was solid data, there was solid work also in that speech, 2-hour-long speech, a lot of content in that speech.
Right.
But if it is the media which is going to pick up these salacious headlines and bits about what Hema Malini says and what Smriti Irani said and what, whether Priyanka Chaturvedi said it or not, if we pick up these headlines, that's what it's going to be. And is it wrong for us? The point is, just a couple of more seconds, Ankit, is that Rahul Gandhi and Modi, being the two big faces, everything that they do, say, wear also, including, say, a Louis Vuitton or a Gucci scarf, all that makes headlines. What gestures, how they speak, how they move, how they walk, they talk. The next 8 months, they will be under scrutiny, and they better watch out for that.
They will be under scrutiny. The whole idea was not to make the flying kiss the focus, but also, is it just these tactics being utilized to try and make a caricature of an opponent, or even on when serious issues are being in fact discussed? But I thank you, all three of you, for joining us on the broadcast, putting your views forward. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me on Views. That's all the time, ladies and gentlemen, that I have on this edition of Breaking Views. There is one more day to go for the no confidence motion debate. The Prime Minister would be replying to what all has gone down in the last 2 days. Tomorrow, trust NDTV to get you the 360-degree coverage. Thank you so much. Good night.